Hello and welcome to the Lagos studios of RATV. I am Adegboyega Labiro, thanking you for finding time to join us. The Lagos State government on Tuesday allayed fears over the adoption of the director of the State Fire Service, Rasaki Musibao, assuring that all hands are on deck to ensure his safe return. Briefing newsmen after the State Security Council meeting chaired by Akinwumi Ambode, the State Commissioner of Police, Zubair Muazu, again confirmed Musibao's adoption with others, but assured that security agencies were working round the clock to rescue them.
State Director of Fire Service and all the security agencies in the state are working towards the safe release of the victims.
Who braved journalists alongside heads of other security formations in the state expressed optimism of positive result soon, but declined to give further details on the ongoing operation to rescue the victims.
Return to Lagos. You knew when there used to be kidnapping in Lagos. I know the situation now. So I look at it as very isolated incidents, and I assure Lagosians through you that all the security agencies are putting their heads together to ensure we put a stop to this menace.
On the fears being expressed over likely return of the spread of kidnapping in the state, Muazu said all security agencies were working seriously to put a stop to it, adding that there was nothing to worry about. Still in Lagos State, the Governor Akinwumi Ambode has inaugurated a 20-member transition committee that will be saddled with the responsibility of ensuring a seamless transition to the next administration on May 29, 2019. Inaugurating the committee, Governor Ambode was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Tunji Bello, said the administration considered smooth transition imperative to ensure that the machinery of government continues to run smoothly without hitches, considering the economic importance of Lagos to Nigeria.
Whose major responsibility will be to ensure a seamless transition to the next administration on May 29, 2019. In order to achieve this objective, we are gathered here today to inaugurate the transition committee under the joint leadership of the Deputy Governor-elect, Mr. Obafemi Hamzat, and the Secretary of the State Government, Mr. Tunji Bello.
The governor charged the committee, which will be co-chaired by the Deputy Governor-elect Obafemi Hamzat and the Secretary to the State Government, Tunji Bello, to accord the assignment the diligence and commitment it deserves. In his response, the Deputy Governor-elect assured that the committee will immediately commence its work, adding that it will be a transition of the same government as the incoming administration will build on the existing template.
Lagos State has always been a pace setter in everything, and that's exactly what we do here. So not everybody on this state prominent with Russians, and on this other side we are common with Russia. So it's everything that is in the interest of the state. That's exactly what we do.
Members of the committee include the head of service, Hakeem Muri Okwola, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Adeniji Kazim, Commissioner for Finance, Akinyemi Ashade, Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Ade Akinsoya, Special Advisor to the Governor in Education, Obafela Bank Ulemo. And now to Kwara State, where the Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed has inaugurated the Transition Implementation Committee with a charge on them to ensure peaceful transition into a new government. The governor noted that having served the state diligently for 8 years, there is the need to hand over the reins of government to a new administration and urged the people of the state to extend the same hand of support to the governor-elect. The governor lamented that his administration has faced a lot of financial challenges, but was able to achieve in all sectors despite the financial crisis. A legacy of service, peace and good governance, he added, is being bequeathed to the state as he is leaving the state better than he met it. The chairman of the 25-member Transition Implementation Committee, who is also the secretary to the state government, Isiaka Gold, assured of the readiness of the committee to discharge its duties diligently and to the best of his ability.
Most of the 8 years of our administration were marked by challenges in the national economy. Nevertheless, we leveraged our resourcefulness to modestly fulfill our pledge to uplift our people and our state while laying a solid foundation for its current and future sustenance. Indeed, I make bold to state that we are leaving Kwara State better than we met it, as we are bequeathing to it a legacy of service, peace, and good governance.
On our part, we consider this assignment as crucial and fundamental as we want to conclude the activities of this present administration under the leadership of Dr. Fatai Ahmed. Therefore, it will be handled and pursued with the seriousness it deserves.
And now to Ondo State, where Monday's robbery attack in Idoani, Ose, local government area of Ondo State, has thrown the community into mourning. 7 persons, including 2 bank staff, have been confirmed dead. According to eyewitnesses, the armed robbers stormed the bank at about 2 p.m., shooting sporadically as they blew open the bank security door with dynamite. The traditional ruler of Idoani, Oba Olufemi Olutoye, asked the government and security operatives to beef up security around banks in the country.
And here we have a porous border with Edo State. Anybody who commits any atrocity here finds it easy, just walk across to my garden and then off. He's already in Edo State.
Government officials from the state were also at the scene of the robbery. The state deputy governor, Agbola Ajayi, described the incident as unfortunate. He implored security agents to fish out those behind the attack.
Sad, very, very sad. Government will do everything to say that we protect our territorial. It is very sad, especially when it comes to the border community between Ondo, Kogi, Edo. It has been very, very.
Meanwhile, one suspect has been arrested in connection with the robbery. With this raid as the only commercial bank in the community, people of Idoani may have to travel 4 hours to neighboring towns, especially Owo, for any bank transaction for now. Over now to Osun State. The Akure Division of the Court of Appeal has begun a 2-week special session in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, to reduce the backlog of outstanding appeal cases in the division. The appeal court, which serves Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun State, is said to have the highest number of appeals before it. According to Justice Oyebisi Omoleye, Osun State has over 250 cases before the court, hence the special session in the state. Justice Omoleye, who presided over the special court session, sought the cooperation of legal practitioners and security agencies during their stay in the state. Some legal practitioners who spoke at the event commended the development, saying it is the only way to reduce the increasing appeals at the Akure division. The state governor, Boyega Oyetola, called for the establishment of the Court of Appeal in the state.
We have many cases in Osun, and the highest percentage of cases coming into the Court of Appeal Akure are from Osun State, and the highest bulk of cases coming from Osun State are from Idesha. This I want to seriously be with the state government. Any government that deprives benefit of the judiciary, they are indirectly introducing established corruption.
The statutory position of the Court of Appeal as the exclusive prime place where justice of the apex court of the land are appointed underscores the importance of your court. I urge your Lordship to continue to uphold the tenets that have endeared the Court of Appeal to the people as an institution of nobility, integrity, and trust.
Since the period that I assumed the headship of Akure Judicial Division in January of this year, I have noticed that Osun State has a huge number of appeals in this court, in this division. And commendably, litigants and their counsel flock the courts in Akure on a daily basis, sitting sometimes for hours to ensure the hearing and disposal of their matters. Justice is a priceless precondition for peaceful coexistence in the turbulence of modern day, which must be bequeathed to all individually and collectively.
Following President Buhari's victory on the 23rd of February 2019, presidential election stakeholders in education sector of the economy will be revived as the set agenda for the Muhammadu Buhari's second term in office. In this report, RATV Lagos sought the views of educationalists on the present state of the education sector in the country and their expectations from the government at this time. Her report.
As recommended by the United Nations. In 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari allocated only 7.04% of the 8.6 trillion naira budget estimate to the education sector, which is lower than the 7.4% allocation to the sector in 2017. Comparatively, more funds seem to have been given to infrastructural development, security, and defense in Nigeria, with less attention paid to the education sector. Former Vice-Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Professor Adebisi Balogun, and some other educationists who spoke with IATV News in Lagos said that the allocations indicate that the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration has not paid adequate attention to the educational development.
The country is as developed as its level of educational development. If the educational development is not developed, let's look at what happened in the western region of those days. Whether we like it or not, the level of development that you had during the era of western region development under the leadership of Obafemi Awolowo puts more focus on education right from the primary school.
The first thing he needs to do is to look at where he has failed, and he has failed in areas that he has not been able to sit down and look at the country from a particular point of view. He has not been able to fashion out policies that will be consistent with the development of this country. In the educational sector we refer to, we have situations whereby we have teachers constantly on strike. We have a private sector-driven education system that is not geared towards producing proper graduates.
Government has focused more on anti-corruption fight and the fight against Boko Haram, and that has taken much of the attention of the government out of the educational sector, because if you look at in terms of resources allocated to educational sector concerning resources allocated to security and the rest of it, you know that education is not given the prime place it belongs to. However, any nation that wants to develop must make constructive investment in education.
The stakeholders also said that they expect an upturn in the state of Nigeria's primary, secondary, and tertiary education in its second term in office.
The federal government during the next dispensation must be able to look at how we are going to use some of, synergize with the universities, synergize enough with the research institutes in such a way that all those results that are lying in our shelf must be utilized for agricultural production.
The first thing he needs to do is to look at where he has failed. And he has failed in areas that he has not been able to sit down and look at the country from a particular point of view. He has not been able to fashion out policies that will be consistent with the development of this country. In the educational sector we refer to, we have situations whereby we have teachers constantly on strike. We have a private sector-driven education system that is not geared towards producing proper graduates.
If the saying that the future of any nation depends on the standard of its education is anything to go by, then the Buhari administration has a task of living up to its transformation mantra and developing a sound education system devoid of all shades of corruption and nepotism to meet the best standard practice in education internationally.
Over now to Faith Agbetuya for the business news.